Welcome everybody. How to get sales from Twitter without selling. And thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's Saturday night here in Ireland and I actually thought there wouldn't be many people, but it turns out I'm not the only one sitting in a Saturday night, which is great. So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is tell a little bird that you are watching. I'm going to give you my tips from my point of view and from what it's done for me. Twitter has changed my whole life. And the reason it's changed my whole life is I was a lone parent 3 years ago. I was on social welfare and then I started a small business, which was a first period gift box for girls. So it was a bit of a taboo. So what I started doing was using Twitter to market the business because I had no marketing budget. I also went on a TV show called The Dragon's Den, which is the equivalent of Shark Tank over there, I think. Ooh. And yeah, it's on YouTube. You can Google it. So I went on that and it was quite emotional for me because myself and my dad was a bit of an entrepreneur and he used to say to me, Sam, if we could just think of one little thing that nobody else has thought of, we could be millionaires, you know? So that kind of was something I grew up listening to. So he used to watch those shows all the time and we used to watch Dragon's Den together. So it was quite emotional for me then because he had just passed away when I did get on the show. So it was a kind of a pity, but at the same time, to be honest, I think he was kind of with me too. So I started using Twitter, and because when I was on Twitter, then when I went on the show, obviously there was a hashtag for the show and then people started following me and then people started engaging with me. Now I always was engaging to people anyway, because to be honest, in the evenings when the girls went to bed, I have 2 girls, I would start tweeting. It was the only social outlet I had at the time. I don't drink anymore. So to be honest, I wasn't going out drinking either. So this was the only social outlet I had. So I didn't realize I was building relationships. I thought I was just chatting and being social and talking to people. But because of the product I had as well, it was a bit of a taboo. So a lot of mums started talking to me and a lot of lone fathers. And that was a target market I hadn't even thought of. And then big sisters of younger girls started coming to me, like big personalities and famous people and stuff. So it was just really cool. So I thought that Twitter, this is very powerful stuff. And then I created Irish Biz Party hashtag because one night, out of frustration with all the red tape that's there for small business owners starting out, and especially if you're in the poverty trap, like how do you get out of the poverty trap if you have a great business idea, but you need a bit of finance to get going with it? And that could be something as simple as buying a good laptop, buying a phone, like these basics, you know? And so I said, right, I'm not the only one experiencing this. I can't be. So I started the hashtag Irish Biz Party to just connect with others like me. And what happened was Twitter magic. I always use the hashtag Twitter magic because people started connecting with each other and then saying, oh, my mum would love one of them, or, oh, actually, I need cards. I need business cards. And there was a printer on the Irish Biz Party hashtag. And so there were sales happening before my eyes. So I've witnessed it happening and I have proved it myself in my own business now because I sold that business in the end to a customer who got redundancy. So she was able to do with it what I couldn't do. And I started using Twitter more, and then people started coming to me and asking me would I help them, you know, show them how to use Twitter, show them maybe run their account. Actually, my first ever client was someone that came to me. It was a hotel, and a hotel is quite an easy sell on Twitter. If anyone is in the hospitality industry, hotels do really well on Twitter, and restaurants and pubs, things like that. So, you know, really, I'm going to just show you how I did it, how you can get sales from Twitter without actually doing a salesy tweet. So that's what I'm here for this evening. And I hope that if you have any feedback or if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. And I'll open the seat in a few minutes. I just wanted to say to Roy as well, thank you for joining me and being my co-host. I know you can't see Roy, but he's going to keep an eye on the comments because I think it's very important. You guys have given up your time to come here. So, right, let's go, right? I won't talk anymore about me. This is about yous and learning how to get sales from Twitter. So the first thing I can say to you is when you do a tweet, who are you tweeting to? Like, who are your followers? Do you know who your followers are? When was the last time you asked one of your followers how their day was? When is the last time you looked to see what one of your followers was up to? I often do that. I often go to see who are these people that are following me? What are they up to today? So I jump in and I ask them, okay, how's your day going? Or, you know, if I see them doing a tweet about something, I retweet it. I engage with them. If they've asked a question, I also try and connect them with whoever it is they're looking for and all that kind of thing. So your followers are your biggest marketeers. So if you start nurturing relationships with your followers, they will start promoting you without you even asking them to. They retweet anything I put up. They ask me how my day is. They comment on my blogs I might put up. They comment on things I might say, because I like to put up inspirational quotes. I like to put up. Now, some people say that's a bit airy-fairy. I get a lot of grief for that from certain quarters. But you know what? It works. People want to be inspired. People want positivity. I try and keep it positive as possible. I don't get involved in controversy, politics, anything like that. I just sit on the fence a lot when it comes to things like that. So if you really, really want to start selling on Twitter, build a network first. Build a community around you of people who get what you do and why you do it. Keep these people close. Keep engaging with them, talking to them, chatting to them. They're human beings. Start talking to them like people. They're people, So keep talking to these people. Share your knowledge with them. So if you have some tip that you've noticed or some update with something, say, oh my gosh, guys, this is really cool. What do you think? Or if you see someone else is like, if Nina put up a really good blog post, for example, Nina's in the chat here, I would say, oh, check out these tips. They're really good, because people want to learn. We want value from following you. So you can't be just putting out, oh, buy this now and do this now. People want you to engage with them. They want to learn. They want to get value. Roy, have you anything to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Concur with everything you're saying. I love a title of a book that just came out a little while ago by John Maxwell. He says, everyone communicates, few connect. And a lot of people are saying you need to connect with your followers. You need to connect with your audience. You need to know your audience. You need to know your followers, just like you said. So I think you have a inch wide, mile deep perspective on who you want to serve. And not only that, but the other people who would love to be served by you, who you're not necessarily focusing on. And remember, focus means follow one course until successful. And I think that's the big problem with people, is that they can't connect with their followers because their mindset is too wide. It's like a mile wide and an inch deep, and there's no depth. But to you, kudos, because I see that there's depth to you. As a matter of fact, right away when I first met you here, I knew there was depth to you just in the way you were texting. And it's like you have this attraction. People are attracted to you, especially if they are like you. You can only attract who you are. So I'll stop right there because I can keep going. Thanks, Sam.
And socially, hi, Nina. It's lovely to see you.
Good to see you.
I love Nina's pink. I love the pink. You see, I want to be like her, but I'm going to have red or something, just something different.
Oh, red is
the
my
women love
favorite.
it. There's been a couple of men that told me to take it down, but
still I love
it. It's a cool brand, Nina. Cool.
Yeah, it makes you stand out big time.
Thank you.
Have you anything to add to? We're talking about how to get sales from Twitter without selling, and a lot of people, I see them trying to sell on Twitter, and they're doing it all wrong. And especially big brands and corporations, I'm like, oh no, don't do that. And another thing as well is, I've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed this, Nina, that you see these big brands and they've got 45,000 followers and they're following 100 whatever. Yeah, it's like
okay, big shots.
That's not really, it's a bit snobby, I think. It's like, why don't they follow their customers back? See what they're up to.
Right. So this is what I have to add. One of the things that does bother me is when people don't follow you back, and I tend to unfollow those people. I'm trying to keep up, because since Blab, I've had a lot of followers and I'm going back and refollowing. But one of the things I noticed that gets you sales on any platform is being engaging and actually giving value. And it doesn't have to be your product. I do a lot of retweeting and connecting. Mm-hmm. And after every Blab, you go back and thank people and like things that you're mentioned in. So I just think one of the points that you were making is, that touchy-feely stuff, it actually builds your brand and it actually makes people want to stay engaged with you. So I actually like that tip, and I've been using it because I wasn't a Twitter person until Blab and Periscope. And because I was always pinning. Sorry, I'm doing a Pinterest video right now. I was always tweeting, but now I'm seeing the value because I'm connecting with so many people on this. So I think the value of not actually being salesy is actually will bring you more sales.
And you mentioned them, the airy fairy stuff. Yes. And I mean, I am a little bit airy fairy, but when I say airy fairy, I mean, I do like the nice things and the niceness.
Yes.
Geez, there's enough crap in the world. You know what I mean? We kind of need to be spreading some nice stuff, and I like the nice stories and the positive stories and the nice quotes. And it's not, someone said in the comments, I'm going to follow up now with that, Paul. Also, you can, it's okay, but only if it's authentic. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's no point in doing the airy fairy if you're not airy fairy, if you're not like a little bit touchy feely, which I am, and I am kind of, hi Syed, I don't know how to pronounce Syed's name, tech bloke, Syed, I think. Hi. But really, the comments section as well, I've noticed it's like Twitter, right? So it's very important to me that I recognize the comments and I recognize the people who are here that are taking the time out to be here. And Paul has put a little comment in there: reciprocal follows are not really relevant followers. I agree, but I wouldn't follow them back unless I actually knew that they were going to be a good person to be in my life. I mean, it's really about, it's not about, is he going to be a client? No, it's not about that. It's about, is he a good person to be around? Is he someone that I'd like to be around or have in my circle? It's like real life. I surround myself with good people who get what I do and understand my passion and understand my drive. Because I'd say I'm a nightmare to live with. I'd say my partner's like, I never get a minute with her. I'd say he's like, oh, you're on that thing again, that blah. And I'm like, no, it's blab. And it's like, even my daughter, like, she saw a Twitter symbol come up on the news and she's like, oh, mommy, tweeting goddess. I was like, no, that's Twitter, not tweeting goddess, But it just shows you, people, it is difficult to be around someone like me, I'd say, but my drive and my passion, that's me, and that's the way I am. And that's the way a lot of the people in my circle are, and they understand and they get me. So I just surround myself with people like that. So when you have people like that in your circle, in your followers, like if someone follows me and if I click on them, I mean, don't forget, folks, you don't have to follow back. You don't have to, but you can click on them and just read their bio. And this is why a bio is so important, folks. Make sure you have in your bio what you do, a little bit about what drives you, or, what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about hill walking, put it in there. You will attract other people who are into hill walking, and really, like, it's not about, oh, will I be able to get this person as a customer? It's not about that. It's about, will this person be adding value to me as well? Because I want to learn as well. I have loads to learn, honestly.
I think
what do you think of that?
One thing I wanted, I'm sorry.
Just real quick, I think what Nina was saying is that if you're a brand, you're a big brand, you should follow your people back because they're following you because they're your fan or they're your customer or would-be customer, and then you should follow them back, sight unseen. You don't even have to look at their bio. I think that's what you were getting at, Nina.
Yes.
Two sides of it. And even for smaller brands, hello. Oh, I love your background. We match.
Hey.
But,
hi, Jen.
One thing that you were touching on, I just wanted, and I'm going to hop off after this and let someone get in, but being and showing integrity and being yourself. I know I used to get online and I would try to be this stuffy, consulting. And I noticed once I started being myself, because I'm the type of person that walks into a blab and says, hey, love. And, and that I comment on, people's background and what they're wearing. And when you hide that, even on Twitter, it's going to be, you don't make that connection. And in order to make a connection, you have to be yourself. So I think people forget that.
Yeah, that's true. And hi, Jen. Thanks for joining us. I know Jen is supposed to be going
Thanks for having me.
I have to take a selfie before I get off because this is so cute.
Going out soon. Yeah. She's going out soon, Jen is. So, Jen, we're delighted that you could come in and join us because Jen is a real top Twitter expert as well. And I know that because I've been watching her blabs. So, have you anything to add to this, Jen? I don't know if you were watching. We were talking about, when people follow back, like that you don't have to follow everybody back, but I just make sure I surround myself with people who are like-minded that I'm going to get value from as well. But you don't have to follow everybody back. But really, hi Jen. Jenny Brennan's in there as well. Jenny Brennan would be a Facebook person more than a Twitter person. you know, whereas I'm just Facebook or Twitter mad, you know, and that's why I call myself Tweeting Goddess. I mean, it's in the name, you know, and I really found like the experiences I've had on Twitter, I have had sales from Twitter all the time. I get them. It's funny. I teach Twitter workshops in real life, like in Ireland, and most of my sales come from Twitter, which I think is quite funny because people are already on Twitter and then yet they're coming to my workshop, you know. Jen, have you any tips there to add? I'm sure you have loads.
Well, hi, Jackie.
Hi.
Cute haircut.
Hi, Jackie.
Very cute haircut.
Thank you. Hi, Roy.
And hi, Roy. So I wasn't listening. I was like furiously running into my office, and it's funny because Blab was open and you were talking on my computer.
Yes.
So I guess when I left my office, I had subscribed to Blab or something, and so I thought, oh my gosh, I'm sure it looks like I'm in the room, and I hope it doesn't look like I'm like ignoring if you're talking to me. But anyway, I'm here. I heard hill climbing, which we don't call it that here. I don't think we just call it like hiking. So I love to hear the different ways that we talk. And like Graham, you know, whenever I do like a Blab with Graham, he'll say, check your diary. And I don't know if you know Graham. He's in Perth. We've done a couple of Blabs together. Graham Innes, Innes, INNES. Anyway, he says, check your diary. We say, check your calendar. But anyway, or check your schedule. You say schedule. I love it. Twitter tips. So no, you don't have to follow everybody to get value from Twitter. And although it's, you know, it started off, I think Twitter started off with that rule that said it's polite to follow people who follow you back. But if it's not someone whose stuff you want to see, and keeping in mind that you are limited to follow 2,000 people right off the bat, you don't want to follow people who aren't going to be of interest to you. And I'm sure you already mentioned that you can put all those people, you can categorize people who follow you back. You can maybe put them in a list that has a flattering title like my top interactors, or people who are great Twitter followers or something. And so you're acknowledging them. You can put them in a list, and you can also check in with them by just looking at that list. And I hope I'm not like repeating what you've already said.
No, you're right. I mean, that's another thing. And I hadn't mentioned lists yet, but definitely lists. I was mentioned that, you know, when was the last time you actually asked one of your followers how they are? When was the last time you actually went to your followers and said, you know, saw what they were up to? I remember once I did it one day, and there was a girl and her daughter had lost her tooth. And she was talking about the tooth fairy. And I said, oh my gosh, I said, my daughter lost her tooth as well. And I forgot to put the tooth fairy money out. And, and so this conversation went on for ages. And then other people jumped into the conversation. And, you know, these two of those people are still my friends to this day. And it was just a silly conversation about the tooth fairy. But this is about authenticity. I know it's a big buzzword at the moment here on Blab, especially I've never heard it so much, but you know, really I always say it's about being honest and just being yourself. And if that's what rocks your boat, and it does rock my boat, I have 2 girls, okay? Then that's what I'm into, and they're the type of people I built relationships with first. And then the other business relationships that I've built up have been either other people in social media, and I have different lists. If you go to my list, I have Blab stars on my list. Like, I'm trying to build lists, like they are very important. So if one day I'm going, gosh, you know, let me just check and see how such and such is doing. It's nice to be able to check in on the people who are following you, because like they're following you, like they're your own little army of marketeers. They will retweet nearly anything I say, or they will comment, and they're the people that keep me sane on Twitter, you know? Hi, Jackie.
Right.
Hi, how you doing? I just thought it was really interesting. I used to be a lot more active on Twitter, I have to admit, when I had my restaurant, you know, but I love the interaction. Like you mentioned lists, and I agree with what Jennifer was saying as well. Kind of like, I do generally reciprocally follow people just as a matter of courtesy. But really, I find what you were saying earlier about how you do get sales on Twitter, and I have found that to be the case, because nowadays when I run cooking workshops and that sort of stuff, it's quite interesting because I've got my mailing list and I've got a sizable footprint on other social media platforms, but it's really Twitter. I noticed, like, I ran a fairly exclusive cooking workshop recently, and I asked around how people found out about it. Yeah. And probably 4 out of the 5 people who signed up for that masterclass all came from Twitter. And I just thought that was really fascinating. Yeah. Because I mean, my Twitter following, I think it's really, because you get to interact with people quite personally on a one-on-one. Whereas on Facebook, it's easy for people to just like your posts without really getting to know you that well. Yeah, so I generally find Twitter does, have its use still. Like I said, I'm a little bit on autopilot on Twitter nowadays, so I get a little bit lazy. I just have like my scheduled posts and that sort of stuff. But when I do interact, when I do take the trouble to kind of like talk to people, you get to know them on a much, deeper level. It's great.
And they want to hear from you, you see. They're following you. And then when you actually engage, they're like, there she's online. And they want to hear from you and they want to engage with you. I try not to automate too much, but when I do, I use Agora Pulse, which I'm finding really good. I know Jenny Brennan. Yeah, Agora. Jenny, would you put the link up there in the comment section? That would be great. Now, I only started using it because I manage a good few accounts, you see. And just, I was mentioning hotel accounts. The first account I ever managed was a hotel account. And the sales went up 15%. The sales went up from Twitter, like their Twitter traffic, And that was such a huge endorsement for me. And even I did a campaign for Big Red Cloud, which was to win a Sponsor for a Day campaign. And that was, I just thought, oh God, well, definitely their followers have gone up. But I didn't realize they told me, and they did it in a presentation in front of 200 people. And they had a little graph saying when they were using Twitter and then when I started it, and it just went straight up. It was deadly. And it was such a huge endorsement. But it just shows, but all I was doing, the only thing I was doing different was I was talking to the people who were following them. I was talking to the accountants. I was talking to the people who were engaging with us, and I was chatting back. And that's all I was doing, honestly.
One tweet can change your life too. I mean, one tweet can, not to be overly dramatic, but the truth is, because it's just the nature of Twitter, the fact that even now, like what's happening now with the live streaming, and the fact that, we can be in this room and I could write a blog post and I can hope that Social Media Examiner prints the blog post. And maybe some of the people who read Social Media Examiner will want to subscribe to my blog and maybe they'll follow me. Or I can pop into a blab and maybe Michael Stelzner's in there and his whole audience is in there. And maybe I say something that makes sense and I could, and it can happen that way. Or he tweets out that that he's following me or whatever. So this whole, marrying Twitter with live streaming is almost too much for your brain to take, but my favorite, I love the title that you gave this, How to Get Sales from Twitter Without Selling, because back to lists, and I think you've heard me talk about this, but I just liken it to a tap on the shoulder. So it's so easy to create a list just the title that you give the list can be provocative enough to bring someone over to your page. And when they get to your page, because they get a notification if it's a public list, they come to your page, then you've made it very clear that you sell candles or, whatever it is that you do, whatever. You're what did you call it? A hill walker?
Hill walker.
You're a hill walker and you sell hill walking tickets, So I love that because that's not selly, that's strategic, but it's not selly. And then I also, my big thing now is, and this, Samantha, is I love replying to people, new followers, or not every single person, but when it's the right time with a video reply. Which is so easy to do from your phone. You literally just hit the reply button and then the camera, and you just say, "Hey, Samantha, thanks so much for having me today on your blab. It was great chatting with you. See you soon." And then it gets tweeted out. And not only does Samantha see that, but other people see that as well, and they get a chance to get a little glimpse of your personality.
Yeah, Jennifer, absolutely. What you were just real quick, what you were just saying about giving them information, and that's not being salesy or selling. I've heard the quote, I forget exactly who said it, but he said, targeted information is not selling. So if your information about your product or service is so targeted and relevant for someone, it's not selling. It's just telling. It's sharing the information that you would just amongst friends. Hey, did you see that great movie? Hey, did you try that new restaurant? It's just sharing information, and that becomes information sharing rather than selling. It's only selling to people, quote unquote, who aren't their target market, who isn't relevant. So be sure you know your target market.
That's a really good point, Roy. I mean, and the the way that you could, like, Twitter is so rich for being able to find exactly the people who you're looking for. It's a brilliant, like, database. But I wanted to say, like, you're exactly right, because today, if somebody would have tweeted to me that they offered, like, on the spot video editing, I would have been so happy, because I needed that today, and I wouldn't have looked at it like selling. I would have clicked on the link and said, please, like, take this video. I can't make my mouth match up with the audio, and I've wasted 4.5 hours. So, like, here's my money and here's my video. And I would have been very happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's another way, just for people who are a little bit new to Twitter that are in the chat, in the comment section there. Look, don't underestimate the search feature on Twitter. If you just go into the search box and put, let's say you're in the bridal industry. If you put, like, wedding, anyone who's mentioned the word weddings, anyone who's mentioned the word, like, party favors, whatever it is that your business is, you can actually search in the search box on Twitter. I use it as a Google search. I look for hotels. Like, when I was running the hotel account, would you believe the most popular hashtag wasn't hotels, by the way? It was travel. So I started targeting anyone who had used the word travel and then my location where the hotel was. So Travel Ireland, and this really happened, okay? There was a girl that was putting up pictures from the area, and they were saying, oh gosh, can anyone recommend a nice hotel to stay in tonight? We think we'll stay another night. They had been staying in a B&B, and so I was able to jump in and say, yeah, sure, come to see us. We'd love to have you, and you can go to the spa while your husband watches the rugby or whatever. And they actually booked the hotel. And then I saw another one. I put up, if I went into the search box and I looked up stressed, and I found a woman who was stressed. She had a family of 6, and she wanted to go to a hotel, but they didn't. It was 2 teenagers and 2 children, something like that. They normally, it's a family of 4, a family room. Anyway, they were looking for a hotel, and she was saying she was stressed, and I responded and said, well, actually, we can organize that for you. So I rang the hotel myself, and I said, look, can we help this family out? And they were like, yeah, sure, they can do it, and this is the price. So I went back by DM and I said, look, we have a room available and it's and then I gave her the number of the hotel and she booked. So that's how you get sales from Twitter. Amazing. It's social listening. You have to be listening to what's going on and watching.
Yeah, and like in that search bar, just think about it, like, because what people are tweeting is what they are thinking. It is what they are needing. It is what they're feeling. And it is on a billboard. It is not buried on their, Facebook page. It's out there. It's for the world to see. So people are saying, like, people tweet the way they talk. So when you go into the search bar, you could say, okay. Like if you're a realtor and you're looking for new prospects. So maybe you're going to look for, I just got a job in Seattle, if you're a realtor in Seattle. So you would be surprised how many tweets come up that say, I just got a job in Seattle, or I got a job in Seattle. And if you're the first person to welcome that person, because these tweets are fresh, like they happened seconds ago, minutes ago, you're the first person to be able to welcome that person, congratulate them. And then maybe you have some helpful information, to give to them. But that's really not even the best example. I can't think. Oh, here's one.
Yeah, moving to. This is the same thing. So you guys, what you're talking about here is awesome. I'm listening. I'm an SEO. I love search. This is an underserved, a discipline for people. People really do need a class or a workshop on how to use Twitter search and to think like you ladies are making them think. It's results oriented. Go for the result. If someone's moving to a new city, I'm moving to Seattle. It's like, this is your keyword, Seattle. It's like, oh, how can I serve them when they come here? It's like, be a welcome wagon. And then, anyway, you guys are on the right track. Go back to Jen.
Even for your own personal, fun and satisfaction. Like if you're in a city and you're looking for the best pizza, you could set the location for like right kind of where you are in the search. There's a little location thing, and then type in the phrase like best pizza. And someone a moment ago just said, I had the best piece of pizza. And it's going to be, and it's more reliable than your Yelp search, really, Or
if you're in the fitness industry in that area, you can say, okay, I must put them on a list for future reference because they're eating pizza. They might want to stop eating pizza. But there's all kinds of those kind of lists, by the way, if you want, just make sure you make the right ones private and the right ones public. You know, you could have little code words in your head, you know. Sorry.
Smart. Someone said that in the chat. They were saying you got to know when to make it to make it public.
Ben, Social Ben was saying he makes both public and private lists, and so I asked him, well, when would you make it private? And he said basically for sales stocking. You guys want to touch that for a second? What is sales stocking to you?
For me, I keep my private media. I keep my media contacts private, like relationships that I've built with certain people in the media. I don't really want anybody else jumping in there. So that's private for me. And then I have a list that I just call ICA, my ideal client audience, people who I think might be interested in my courses and my products. And I keep that private because, yeah. How about you, Samantha and Jackie?
Yeah, I'm the same. Sorry.
You go.
When I was running the online accounting software company Twitter account, I was getting lots of accountants together, you know, because accountants could be their biggest sellers for selling it on to their clients, you know. So I had a little private list of potential clients or, you know, potential allies. But what happened was I suggested to them that we have an open breakfast event, you know, and invite all these accountants to an event to get them to meet each other and stuff. And what happened was we added value. So we had a workshop on how to use social media, all these different things, because they went to the event, but all those people I had on the list, I said, oh, hi, I'm just letting you know that we are having this event. And some of the guys went to the event, and I don't know what happened afterwards, but I'm just saying that, you know, that was the key, was to get them to the event and build relationships with the accountants, because the accountants were the ones who were going to tell clients about this software, you know. So it's so easy if you just think of the person who's following you. Why are they what do they want? Like a lot of the followers that this online accounting software firm had were small business owners. And I was like, okay, so what are you tweeting about? And they're like, well, we're tweeting about our packages. I was like, right. And are you not giving them any tips, or, you know, what about, have you given them any tips on how to write a business plan? Have you given them tips? Have you done any case studies? Have you done anything like, and they're like, oh gosh, yeah, that's a great idea. So we started doing that, and we started reaching out to these small business owners and all the hashtags that were active on Twitter. So there are lots of business hashtags, like for each county. And there's Irish Biz Party as well, and British Biz Party. So we started engaging on those hashtags, so that the brand awareness itself was enough, you know, for them to see the package coming up in the feed all the time. So when they're going to get an online accounting software package, the first one they're going to think of is, oh, who are those guys that are always saying they're always really nice? Well, who are they? You know, and that's how they get the sales, you know.
Wow. Well, okay. So I'm going to turn into a pumpkin now. I have to go. It's date night.
No, you're nice. No, you're nice.
But I thank you so much. You're so smart, Samantha, and I love your accent. So like and I have you in a list of people with charming accents. So you can make a list for anything, people. So, okay. Bye. Thanks for letting me be a part of this, and we'll do it again soon. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, Jen. Enjoy your night. Bye.
Enjoy your evening.
Now, I'm going to play the devil's advocate here a little bit, Tweeting Goddess, because I did have a physical restaurant for the longest time. And now, when I was really active on Twitter, because, I mean, part of being authentic and being real as well to me is that, you know, I don't take a lot of nonsense. And I tended to find that being on Twitter a lot, you started getting people getting lazy about, you know, checking out your bio or whatever. So, you know, when I had my restaurant, they were just, you know, my bio had my website and all that sort of stuff. People would just say, oh, so what's, you know, so where are you from? What do you do? What's, you know, where's your restaurant? What are the hours and that sort of stuff? And that used to drive me nuts. I was thinking, all you have to do is click on the link to my website and find out all the information just like that. I don't know how you deal with that, but yeah, I mean, I started, I mean, it's just all in good fun. You know, I would answer a couple of questions and then I'll just be really short with them and say, look, it's on my website. That's it sort of thing. I don't know how you deal with that without coming across as being abrasive.
Well, I get some aegis as well, you know. I have a few stalkers, and I have a few people that I've blocked because they weren't being particularly nice to me, and I really don't need that in my life. It's like, sorry, you're just not on the same page as me. So go away. I've never done anything to you. I don't know who you are. So go away and get out of my life. So it'd be great if we could do that in real life, wouldn't it? Block. But anyway, but you know, for me, well, no, what I do is I say, normally they message me. They say, "Oh, look, I'm really stuck," and I'm like, "Well, everything's on my website. Have a look." I just send them a link to the website. Here's the website. That's all I do. Here's some tips for you, you know. But you know, I try to respond to every single person who mentions me. So in the morning, folks, where a lot of us are time poor. Okay, so what I do first thing in the morning, I just go to my notifications. But all I'm concerned about as a brand, as a small business owner, is who has mentioned my brand, who has followed me, who has said something to me or asked me a question. So when you're time for first thing in the morning, before the kids go in the school run or before they get up, I go and I check my notifications. Okay, is there anything here that I need to respond to? And you respond to the ones you need to respond to. And then anything that if I'm out in the go and someone says something and I haven't time to read it, like let's say they say, read this, or you must take a look at this. I'm out and about all the time. I just favorite it. And then what I do is when I click favorite, I go back later and I have a look at it properly. And I just say to them, oh, I'm out and about now. I'll check it later. You know, but responding, people just want you to acknowledge them, really. You know, don't forget there's a lot of lonely people out there as well. And a lot of lonely people who are business owners as well. So, I mean, like, and there's a lot of lonely potential customers out there that will actually just want to be acknowledged and just want you to say hi. And, you know, and when you do that and you treat them like a human being, they remember that, especially if it's a startup, someone that's just started out in business, and you give them a few tips. I tell you, they'll tell everybody about you. You don't have to do any marketing at all. They do it for you. Like,
I found what I found.
Have you not got the restaurant anymore? No, sorry.
No, I gave it up 3 years ago to look after my son. He's disabled. But I still run a food business. I just don't have a physical restaurant. So the whole Twitter interaction is a little bit different now. I've kind of positioned myself more towards the online sphere where I produce a lot of cooking videos. So nowadays people ask me about recipes and about, like, you know, where to go, you know, for Malaysian food, because my specialty is Malaysian food. So I like being positioned as kind of like the go-to person for that kind of information. Just this morning, just before I hopped on, someone was asking, someone took a photo of something they ate in a Malaysian restaurant, the condiment that was served with it, and they say, oh, what is this? Does anyone know? So I gave them my 2 cents worth. So I like that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem with those at all.
Well, you just hit on a very important point as well about Twitter. On Twitter, you showed yourself as being the authority in that area. Okay, so you are the go-to person, and now I know you're the go-to person because my daughter's half Chinese. Would you believe? My first daughter, and she loves really healthy vegetarian food, whereas I'm a crap cook. I am the worst cook ever. So you couldn't be speaking to a better potential customer right here. I cannot cook. I'm good at other stuff though, but I'm not a great cook. But yeah, definitely, like, I'll check you out as well. I mean, that's the kind of thing I want to learn. I want to learn healthy, vegetarian, you know, like Chinese cooking would be quite similar to the Malaysian cooking, would it? I mean, rice and vegetables and stuff. So yes, she would love if I was able to produce something like that for her. So I will definitely be checking you out. And the fact that you're the go-to person, you have the hair, you look, you know, you have the look as well. And that's why I always encourage people to put their face, you know, people buy from people. So put your face on your avatar. The avatar is the picture that you have on Twitter. Like, put your face there because people buy from people and they'll get to know your face and they want to see your smiley face there. And it makes it easier for them to approach you as well. You're more approachable then as well. So yeah, definitely the sales will come. Like, it's really, look, it's taken me a long time. It's taken me, well, I'd say 3 years now I'm on Twitter to build up all this network, but I fine-tuned it down. I've got rid of the idiots. I keep the good people who understand, like you, like as well, Jackie, you said your son is disabled. My daughter's special needs. I mean, there are people, we need to keep people like us close to each other so that we can support each other, because you're trying to run a business and you're trying to look after your son. And like, there's lots of mum groups out there. There's lots of female entrepreneur groups out there. There's lots of small business groups out there, which have male and female. And we just need to find each other. And once we find each other, keep them close. Keep those people close. People that you know will support you and help you and retweet you and promote your stuff. They will come to you and then you will do it back for them too. You know, that's how it works.
Yeah. I totally agree now that you mention it, because my son was in the hospital for 7 months. First 7 months of his life, he was in the ICU. And really, it was, Twitter, more than any other platform, because like I said, I'm online quite a bit. Twitter, more than any other platform, had, people reach out to me through private messages, offering support. I was like traveling between my restaurant and the hospital every day for several hours. And people were offering to, put me up near the hospital and saying, oh, look, I live just, near the hospital. If you need, to crash out, my house is open to you. And then people were offering to take turns to look at, to visit my son in hospital. And so I was really, really, for some reason, there's something about the Twitter vibe, a lot of people, I think like in my sphere, a lot of people tend to be a little bit intimidated by Twitter. I don't get it. It moves so fast, and I don't really know what's going on. But really, the genuine relationships I've built, through Twitter have just been really, really kind of like beneficial on a personal and professional level for me.
Well, you're right, and you're right about the demographic on Twitter is slightly different as well to Facebook. I've noticed that the demographic on Twitter is age 35 to 55, professional and urban. So they're a little bit, professional, urban, 35 to 55. The highest growing demographic on Twitter, over 55s. So over 55s have been there, done that. They just don't want to put up with any crap in their life anymore. They've been through hurt. They've been through deaths. They've been through divorces. They've been there and done that. So I find that that's why these people are more supportive and more willing to reach out, I find as well. I think that's the reason why. It's because of the demographic. And also, I know I agree with them. I've done that myself. Somebody got stranded. I live in Rosslare Harbour. It's by where the boat goes to England. And it was a really, really stormy day. And someone tweeted, oh my God, I'm stuck in Rosslare Harbour. The weather's really crap and we can't get on the boat. And she had a disabled child as well. And I knew her from Twitter because of the Special Needs Parents Association connection. And so I saw the tweet and I said, Lorraine, come over here. I live around the corner. So she spent the day with us till the boat for that evening came. So they were able to change to the to that one in the evening, but they spent the day here. They were able to have dinner. The kids were able to watch telly and play with my daughter. And, so imagine like having the disabled child and two other girls all day stuck in Rosslare Harbour in a cafe or whatever. They had a home to sit in, watch telly, do whatever. And this is the kind of thing that happens to Twitter to me all the time. I have another Twitter story as well. Like I have loads of Twitter stories. Like my daughter was into Justin Bieber, and when the tickets went on sale, I hadn't got the money to get the ticket, and I know all his songs off by heart. But basically, what happened was the night before, I could hear the music playing upstairs, and she was crying in her bedroom, listening to love songs from Justin Bieber. And I was like, oh God, I said, this is terrible. So I said, right. So I put a tweet out and I said, hi, does anyone, I have a devastated teenage daughter upstairs. Does anyone happen to have a spare Justin Bieber ticket for tomorrow night? It got retweeted all over the place. It got shared. And also there was a competitor of mine when I was in that other business. And I stayed friends. Look, your competitors, I kind of try and keep them. I don't close the door on anyone. Just don't slam the door on anyone. Always be civil to everybody. And she said, actually, I have a big Facebook page following. What I'll do is I'll put it on my Facebook. So she put it on her Facebook page, and a teacher in Galway had a spare ticket, got her phone number, met her outside the next day. My daughter went to the concert with a teacher who was 26, which was much cooler than her mum, and her niece who was 15. So a girl the same age as her. And that is a true story. I know. I even have a picture awesome. A picture that she took at the concert of Justin Bieber. And so, these things, there's loads of stories like that I can tell you that really, and you're right. I think the demographic is different, and that's why it's easier to get sales as well, because people will buy from you if they trust you, and if they like you, they will buy from you. Or they'll ask me, do I know someone that sells such and such a thing? I get that all the time on Twitter,
That is so encouraging, really. I mean, like I said, I started out saying, look, I've had Twitter on autopilot for a while now because I've just kind of been focused on other stuff, Blab, for instance. But no, this is really encouraging. Thank you so much for this, because I'm just going to hop back on Twitter and spend a little bit more time. Like I said, nowadays I just kind of like, if people mention me, I will respond. But I've really kind of gone on to check my lists. And
I'll tell you what, start talking to me, and where do you live?
I'm in Sydney, Australia.
Right. So if you start talking to me, I can try and connect you with people I might know down there. Well, I don't think I know many, but there's a lot here on Blab, as you know. But, like definitely connect with me, and I'll connect you to even Lorraine, that lady I was telling you about, the Special Needs Parents Association. Even though it's Ireland, there's still common ground that you could chat about, or maybe you could see what she puts up. A lot of interesting stuff that might even help you and your son,
Fantastic. So, I'd love to. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm going to hop off, let someone else hop in.
You're welcome.
But great. This has been a great Blab. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Nice
and everybody, if anyone wants to join in, do join in. I'm going to take a drink of water here. Now, is there any questions there, Roy?
Actually, we're waiting. Yes, Sam, we're going to wait for Carla to get on her computer, and she'll join us. And she does have a question. She had heard one of us say something about Twitter training, and Nina was so kind to point that out to me, because I did miss that. So props to Nina. Yeah, you just can't keep abreast of everything. So that's going to bring Carla up into the seats. I just love the way things happen when people have your back. So Nina, props to you, girl. This is awesome. So Carla, as soon as you're done, just click the open seat there, and Sam will let you in, and we can discuss your situation. If there's a question that I missed, please go and post it again.
Use the they want to ask. Another tip as well that I will say, another thing to think about is, like, when you're doing your tweet, is this tweet going to help somebody today? Is this tweet going to add value to their day? Is this tweet positive? Or is this tweet going to make someone respond in a negative way? You need to be careful when you're composing your tweet. Make sure you have information in it and that it is adding value to someone's day. Hi, Carla.
Here comes Carla.
Trying to join.
Carla, you may have to click something. There she is. Hi, Carla.
Hi.
Hi, Carla.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for
Carla,
joining.
go ahead and ask your question again so that we can hear it, and that way Sam will unpack that for you.
Okay, well, so basically I'm fairly new. I'm not really new to Twitter. I mean, I've had a Twitter account for many years. I just really don't understand how to use Twitter. And so I had that set up with with my business, and somehow I set it up a long time ago where if I posted anything on Facebook, it would automatically hit my Twitter feed. I don't know how I did that, but I have a new project that I'm working on, and so I've set up a new Twitter account so that, because I don't know anybody following me on that other account, I don't know anybody that I'm following, there's no relationship whatsoever there. So what I was looking for is, do you know anybody, or maybe you do it, a Twitter training course where I know just enough to be dangerous, but I don't really know how to use it.
Well, this is not a sales pitch, but I do one-to-one consultations over Skype. So if you want to connect to me afterwards, that's fine. But just to let you know as well, obviously you had connected Twitter on your Facebook. So it's Facebook you need to go to disconnect the Facebook to the Twitter. Don't forget, Facebook and Twitter, two different audiences. So I always encourage people that have Facebook connected to their Twitter to disconnect it. What is your business? We'll just make sure that your customers are on Twitter first.
Okay, well, the new project that I'm working on it's an organizational project to help people put their affairs in order. And
I saw you on a Blab the other day. That's right. I saw you. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yes, to put their affairs in order before. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's an organizational tool that I've designed, and I do live workshops. But I'm thinking that I'd really like to start talking more on Blab, and now I'm listening to all of this stuff with Twitter, and I'm thinking, whenever you started talking about searching, I jumped over to my Twitter and I was searching, but my problem is I don't really know what keywords to search for. So I try to think, because people don't want to talk about putting their affairs in order, but they'll talk about, my brother died and he didn't have a will. And so they'll talk about, so when I start trying to think of things that my customer would be talking about, it would be more that kind of thing. So I don't really know what to search for.
Okay, well, first of all, just start building some relationships. So start talking to me, and I will connect you with the girl that I know that does Make My Will. It's I think it's Make My Will IRL. I'll connect you later, right? But really what I would do is, first of all, I go to connect you with her and watch her tweets and see what she's doing and how she's reaching out. She's actually building relationships at the moment. So she's just talking to other women in business. Don't forget, women in business, we need you. It's right, something I put on the long finger. I put it on the long finger. We all put it on the long finger. Why don't you start telling some stories? Do you have a blog?
I've set it up, but I haven't really started blogging too much yet. So
what about do something like the top 5 reasons you need to do this now? The top 5 reasons, such as get some real life stories, some examples of what has happened in the past that you've come across. Use your experience and what you've experienced. Tell a story about, or why did you get into this in the first place? There must be a story behind that. There has to be So we want to know more about Carla, because people are going to buy from Carla. Okay. They're going to buy from you. So I want to know, Carla, tell us a little bit more about yourself and why did you decide this was an important thing that was being missed? And that's why you're doing it now.
So do that in a blog post and then tweet out the link? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Tweet it to me, will you? Tweet it to me when you have it. Direct message me if you want me to have a look at it first, and I'll be happy to have a look over it. I mean, really, what people would want, please give us some comments and suggestions as well in the comment section, please, for Carla. I think what you're doing is, that this is an essential service, but a lot of other people, we put it on the long finger. It's like, oh, well, I don't have the money now. And, you could do examples and stories about why, or top 5 reasons why something happened in the past, or top five reasons you need to do this now. The top 5 things holding you back from progressing, or, there's little things you could do that might not necessarily be about making the will. It could be about, what other side is there to the business? Sorry.
Well, the thing, I'm not an attorney and I'm not a life insurance agent, so I don't do the legal end of it. I do the fun stuff. It's documenting it kind of like in a scrapbook format, and so it's there. It's the fun stuff, and so I need to put a fun spin on it, because basically people don't want to talk about it. And so I'll give you an example. So my mom was doing some research on Ancestry.com, and she found out that her great-grandfather had like 3 wives. So now she's searching everywhere and wanting to find out, was he divorced? Was he widowed? What's the story behind him? And so when she was putting her book together, she goes, why do I have to put my divorce decree in here? And I said, think about your great-grandfather. You don't know if he was married to 3 women at the same time, if he had, you don't know.
That's a great story. That's a great story. Yeah, that's a great story. So something like that, those kind of stories is what we want. Start building your network of people around you who will actually bring this up. Like maybe get to know some solicitors, maybe get to know some people that are in nursing or in special needs, those kind of things. People who are in contact with these people that would like something like this. I think women definitely would like this. Maybe lone fathers. So just, they would be on Twitter, I think. Yes. Facebook, maybe Pinterest as well. Are you on Pinterest?
I'm on Pinterest for my other business. I haven't really, and I'm on Instagram for my other business too.
Okay, I think really just stick with Twitter. Just stick with Twitter. I think put more time into your Twitter, definitely. Okay. Look, I'm very happy to talk with you afterwards. Just direct message me. We're following. I think I followed you the other day anyway. So
I'm following you, so I'll check and see if I can send you a direct message. Thanks so much, Samantha.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks, Carla. Hi, Bruce.
Thank you.
Hi there. Actually, before Carla goes, actually she's gone.
Oh,
my suggestion.
She's watching
you kind of mentioned that was her target market or audience may not be the direct final product. It may be the solicitor, the lawyer, the insurance agent.
Good point.
You can reach out to those people on
very
Twitter.
Good. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Pete.
Yes, Pete. Hi, Pete.
Hi, how you doing? My first time Blab. First
Is
time
it?
on here.
Welcome. It's always the first time, so welcome.
You're very welcome. You popping
Thank
your
you.
cherry on my Blab?
I guess so. Wow. Anyways, yeah. See, I've been on Twitter for a long time, and I'm not sure how to do it on and off, sporadic, the exact stuff you're not supposed to do. And then for the last couple of weeks, it's just taken on a whole new life for me, because what I own a commercial roofing. I'm a commercial roofing contractor in the United States. I do very well, several states and stuff. And there's like nothing on Twitter for commercial roofing. But what I found, what my real love is to help people, period. I make a great living from this from being a roofing contractor. And my story from going from homeless to outlaw biker to all this, to changing my whole life, because I also have 2 daughters, that, I find it much more interesting and funner to talk about than shingles, or hot tar roofs, and then I went down the rabbit hole and found this Blab, and I'm just like, oh my God, what a great platform. And, I'm kind of ADD all over the place. And I'm trying to corral myself into figuring out what the heck I am doing. Do I make any sense? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you mean on Twitter? Like, do you mean on Twitter, or do you mean on Blab? Like, do you?
No, on Twitter and Blab. I found Blab through the Twitter.
Okay.
The Twitter, like that.
Okay. So you do roofing. Is that what you're getting your money? Like, is that what your business is?
Yeah, my business is commercial roofing. I'm in 5 states on the West Coast.
There's a guy, an Irish Biz Party, which is a small business community I run, and they're in Ireland now. Okay, he's in Ireland, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you can have a look and see what he does. He puts up pictures of progress while he's doing the roof. He puts pictures and here's before and here's after. And I know, even just when you mentioned that, he's the first person that came into my head, because I see him engaging all the time. I see him on Twitter he talks to me, just chats. And see, you have a personality, Pete, that it's interesting, it's funny, you've got the bit of humor. So, start putting out tweets like about your life as well, but stick the roofing ones in every now and then as well, so that people will know. You're called Go Green Pete. Is that your Twitter name?
Yeah, that's my Twitter name. My company is Go Green
name?
Roofing. Go Green Roofing.
Roofing, and it wouldn't fit. Is that why it's not your Twitter handle?
Right. Well, what I do is I'm trying to teach my sales guys how to brand themselves, because what happens in roofing sales anyways is, you're buying from friends, So what happens is, if they leave my company, their clients are going with them. So what most companies, large companies, want you to do is sell the brand. Sell the brand, sell the brand, sell the brands. But however, my belief is that, you're really selling yourself and your personality. So everybody in my arena out here in the Bay Area and California, Nevada, and everything think I'm totally insane, which I am. I do everything totally different.
Yeah,
I know.
B3.
But I gotta tell you, I have people flocking to do business with my company and people to be working with my company, because I give so much, because, I've been on the streets and I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if you don't give, you're not getting back. So I'm trying to train my sales guys into branding themselves. And that's how this whole Twitter came apart. I go, so I'm going to start branding on Twitter. I don't like Facebook too much. I just really like the scroll of Twitter and everything. And
I think what you're doing, your message and what you're doing, and that's exactly what Twitter's about. So you will do really well on Twitter. I'm just going to have a look at your Twitter here while you're here, if that's okay.
Go right ahead.
Just going to check it. I think I followed you. I'm trying to. Sorry, my mouse is not working
today or something. But then, I found this Blab, and I started hearing other people's stories, about life, because everybody's got a story. When I go out to when I go out to meet a prospect about a roof, I talk to about roofing maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes out of the hour. It's all about, got any kids? What do you do for fun?
Okay,
how did you get into this business? Go ahead.
While Sam is looking that up, let me just tell you this real quick. Use Blab. Start a show, start a local show or wherever it is that you do your work, and just get the people in the geographic area that you have there to get to know you, like you, and trust you. Maybe you'll talk about some of the, the places of amusement for other people, can whatever you want to talk about, and get them. So basically you're using the format of a weekly TV show. Why do you watch a TV show? Because you love the commercials. You can't wait to watch the next commercial for next week. I wonder if that car commercial. No, you watch it for the content, but yet somebody has to sponsor it. Create your own show, sponsor it with your roofing company.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, and your bio is lovely. Your bio, like from homeless to the founder of the company. The picture, what's your header picture? What's that of?
I'm not sure which one it is. Is it the, that's me sitting in a coffee shop. No, right there. It's me sitting in a coffee shop.
No, the header picture, the one on top on your Twitter?
The header picture, that is actually some of the roofing material I use that it rained on. And I took a picture of it because I thought it looked neat because it sheds water so well.
I was just wondering what it was. Yeah. But really, there's a guy called, sorry.
No, that was actually a picture. That roof was done on a prison. I did. So, yeah.
Well, you know what? Have a look at Howard Roofing. Connect with me on Twitter after this, and I'll just connect you with him because he's very good on Twitter, and he's also got a bit of a story as well. And I think even the two of you, even though you're in different countries altogether, I mean, you could look at what he does, and all he's doing is doing what I think you would do well at. Is you have a personality, you're quirky, you're different. We love that stuff. I don't go with the norm either. I don't wear like the shirt and tie at networking events. I hated them because I felt intimidated going to them, and that's why I created my own community of people. Like you could create a community. Actually, I have an idea for you. You could create a community of contractors and carpenters and painters and all those kind of people. You could create you could call it construction. There is a construction hour actually on Twitter, #construction hour. But you could create something different, like call it something different, not roofing hour or anything, but you could call it something that brings all those kind of people together.
The home services hour.
There you go.
Under
lovely
one
idea,
roof.
Sam. Brilliant.
Under one roof.
Absolutely
yes.
brilliant.
Under one roof. That's
Pete, if you need any help producing
Under
that or
one
getting
roof,
some
very
ideas.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, I need help doing everything. Believe me. I got 2 daughters. And a little segue thing is I went on Ancestry.com and found my whole family in Cork, Ireland.
No way.
It was crazy because my parents were immigrants. But my great aunt was the Mother Superior of Ireland, I guess. She was in Cork. I know that.
Wow. You see, you have to come to Ireland now.
Oh, my youngest daughter.
If you come to Ireland, you'll spend your time. My dad was a painter and decorator. Anytime we went into a restaurant or anything, he'd always end up looking at the painting and the decorating. So you'd be looking at all the roofs in Ireland.
That's what I do. Yeah.
But that's brilliant. Bruce, I never asked Bruce what he does. Sorry, Bruce. I never asked you what you do.
I am a YouTube strategist. And so my primary platform is YouTube, and then I'm spending more and more time on Twitter and Blab. I like Blab actually better than Periscope because on Periscope, you got to create all the content yourself. Here,
yes.
I've been on this for 10 minutes and I've said 5 words. and yet I'm creating content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam?
It's awesome.
Yes.
Yes,
yes,
we have Ray that wants to jump in and ask his question.
Okay, I'm going to jump out.
Thanks, Pete.
Lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you,
Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon.
I want to see you again on Blab. I want to see you again.
Yeah,
thanks,
absolutely.
Pete.
For sure.
Stop
now that
anytime, Pete.
Cherry's been popped, I'm good. I'll be there. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good evening
like
or day.
I like
yes,
that.
Absolutely. Ray, come on up, Ray.
But yeah, so next Thursday I'm having a Twitter class, a small group of businessmen, and so I popped in here to pick up some extra tips. They gave me 10 minutes to talk about the entire history of Twitter and how to make it profitable. So to cut that down to the basics is don't sell, create content, be helpful, join the conversation, don't create the conversation.
Yeah, good stuff.
And don't use it advertising.
Drop your link, Bruce, before you go. Drop your link in the site chat.
I am.
Put the link in there. Yeah, and Bruce as well. I've got a blog. There. How to get sales from Twitter that I just did, and it's on my website. If you want to feel free to use any of that if you want to as well. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so we're going to be posting on YouTube, so I'll post the YouTube channel.
Right. Okay. It's that's fine. Thank you. Hi, Ray.
Hi, Sam. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me on. My question was, I only started on Twitter in April, and it was my first social media platform. So I went on this kind of painful learning curve, but kind of got my head around it. A bit of graphic design. So I made my own pictures, kind of using a bit of graphic design, and tweeted them out because they got retweeted more. The area I'm involved in is non-profit. So I work with services that work with homeless people, addiction and mental health recovery from trauma.
Oh, that's right. I met you, didn't I? Yes, that's right.
You did.
And Pete and you should connect because Pete might have good knowledge to share and experience. Yeah. And so, I'm on I've got interested in Blab. I know at the moment there aren't many people from that community of services, but that's kind of what I'm passionate about is recovery from trauma, addiction, and I've had a personal journey there. But then now I manage a service that works with people like that. But part of my job is to change the system and improve services in those areas. And so I'm thinking of maybe trying to develop a community on Blab. But my question was about, I taught myself how to make GIFs. You know, the little movies, the 6-second movies, the GIFs that you can attach and tweet out. Right.
And I'm just wondering, because I'm kind of always just finding my feet a bit and just not quite sure what I'm doing, but just having a go at stuff, a bit like Blab. What do you think about using GIFs in terms of on Twitter? Because I made a few and some people seem to retweet them and like them, but they take a little bit to make.
No, we love stuff like that. Don't forget, if you put a picture in a tweet, it is 200 times more likely to be retweeted than no picture. There is a huge community of people in recovery on Twitter. I'm in recovery 7.5 years. Yeah. I'm in AA, so you just don't know who you're talking to. And I don't mind saying that because it's part of my story, okay? And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me being on a program and stuff. So there are a lot of people, I'm not going to name them because obviously, it's up to you to find them yourself, but you'll know by the way they talk. You'll know anyway. You know yourself. I mean, Pete, I'm sure Pete has a nice story to tell there as well, I'm sure. I mean, there's, you see, someone's just said there in the comments, I've got 24 years sober. So there you go. They're going to start coming to you now. So if you start building a community and start to blab about, let's talk about recovery, I bet that you get a lot of people joining in that blab.
Well, that's what I'm hoping to do. Yeah, I'm going to try. I did schedule one, and then the technology kind of didn't let me down a bit. But I'll get there. I think I'll work it out. And
well, I recommend as well getting these headphone things. See these? Get the headphones.
What brand is that? Or what are they
They're
called?
Only here I have to get my glasses on now. Look at you making me put my glasses on. Logitech.
Logitech.
They were like 24 euros or something. And get a light. Look, I got this in the charity shop. This light.
All right, brilliant.
So
I thought you set up a snazzy thing there.
Blab station. No.
It looks good. Yeah.
Well, look, this is the thing. You see, if you want to do it, Ray and Bruce, I'm sure you agree. Do you agree that I think people would be interested in what he has to say? I think so.
Definitely. Yeah, I think that because it's something you don't usually see on Blab, because a lot of things I've been seeing is a lot of coaches and maybe some exercise, but there's a whole wide range of additional topics that people would like to talk about.
You can talk about maybe how to treat the family member who's like what the right thing to do is, what the wrong thing to do is, you know, like we all know, like you never tell us what to do. Don't tell us what to do. We hate being told what to do, you know, and we all know somebody who's suffering or somebody who needs help. So you could just give gentle tips. You don't have to say, you know, let's talk about recovery. You could say something like, you know, start putting up inspirational quotes. There is a hashtag recovery. Have a look and see who's using that, especially in America.
I have been using that. So I've tended to, when I worked out the hashtag thing, I started to often say recovery from addiction and trauma. Because I'm kind of interested in as well is there's people who work in mental health and addiction and homelessness, but if they're staff in services, they often don't talk to each other and they could learn a lot from it. I'm interested in bringing them together because often there's a lot of enabling goes on and they mean well, so it's not that anyone knows everything. It's just that if we could bring people to share information, the service to people who have yet to find recovery would get a bit better.
And also let people talk because you don't have to lead the conversation yourself.
And also if you talk to other people who...
Yeah, because if you open up the conversation, people will start to share.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's a lady fertility expert on Twitter and she thinks it's a bit of a taboo about fertility issues because, you know, no one wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to admit that, you know, that they're having issues. And she started Fertility Hour on Twitter. I mean, she would be a great person. She's on Blab. She would be a great person to connect with, even just for her insight and even just to interview her or whatever. And, you know, it's all about because she helps people with the mindset and mindfulness and all that. It's all part of a big thing that I think definitely you do well. Create an hour, create a little chat about this on Twitter and see what happens. You know,
well, on Twitter, I suppose it doesn't matter because you get the hashtag. But I suppose on Blab, you'd want a regular slot. I was thinking so people know once a week.
Oh, you need a regular slot on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter chat. Yes, a Twitter chat. Online Events has said as well. A Twitter chat. So if you create a Twitter chat, which I've created loads of them, I have, right? So this is what you need to do. You need to decide. When are these people going to be online?
I've never heard of it.
A Twitter chat?
Yeah, honestly. I'm starting Twitter in April.
Okay, well, look up my ones. Look at my... You've got, like, Irish Biz Party. It's like a hashtag. You just put a hashtag... there's viral chat in America. Have a look at my lists and have a look at my hashtags that I use. But I created one that's every Wednesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. On British Biz Parties on Monday nights, 9 to 11 p.m. Women's Inspire hashtag is Tuesday nights. I created Mummy Pages chat, which is every morning on Twitter between 10:30 a.m. and 11:30. Yeah. But, you know, Twitter chats are fantastic for growing your followers and making suggestions and all those making conversation.
All those times are in Ireland. So we're about 8 to 10 hours behind you.
Yes, they are. Yeah. So that's what I was going to say to you, Ray. You need to decide, okay, where are your audience? When are they on Twitter? I'd say in the evenings, 9 to 11 p.m. probably. Like these people, when would they be online?
Yeah, because I'm in like the northeast of England.
Okay.
Northeast coast of England. So New York's about 6 hours behind or something.
Yeah.
Ray, Juliet just said, Ray, I'd love to interview you on your story on a Blab. So there's an invitation. Get with Juliet right away. That's called collaboration, guys, in action. Okay.
So
Juliet.
Awesome, Juliet. I'll look for Juliet and I think, would it be good for me to step off and let someone else have a turn of asking you a question?
I don't know who wants to come on. Let me find out.
Yeah, but I just want to add to that. I just want to finish what I was saying. I was saying, if you do decide to start a tweet chat, okay, what you need to decide when are they online. I think between 9 and 11 p.m. they would be online. Okay, and then you need to decide what night. So you need to do it every week, the same time, every week. So that people will know, that chat is on Wednesday nights, that chat's on Tuesday nights. There are lots of hashtags that are active in the UK. There's like London Hour, there's... where do you live?
Northumberland, so it's the northeast coast, like above Newcastle.
Okay, I think there's a Newcastle Hour, I think. There's a Brum Hour, there's all these different hours. Yeah, connect with me on Twitter, because tweet to me and say, Sam, please send me that list of hours and I'll send you the whole list, right? Because there's a whole list of different tweet chats. So I don't know if there's nothing on recovery there, but there is something on recovery. I just need to figure out what the name is. I can't remember it. Yeah. But definitely decide what day if you are going to do it, and then you get your followers and supporters to tweet it out and to join you on the first night and just get involved and start talking.
Point is, a lot of the people I work for, there's a lot of people in recovery around Newcastle and Gateshead where I work with that group of people. There's lots of people who haven't got into recovery yet, but there's a lot in recovery. But a lot of them are scared of Twitter and social media, and there's a job to do about just that, breaking the ice of helping people see it's useful. Just the practicality of getting over that. But I think we can have a go at that. I did it with a colleague this week once.
Well, they can watch the chat, you see. They don't have to get involved. They can watch the chat while it's going on. If you do a blab, they can watch the blab. You can put it on your website afterwards if you record it. So they don't have to get involved. And that's the anonymity thing. And that's the stigma thing. And maybe you could be the person to change that. Thank you very much.
And I'll do your tweet to ask for the list.
You're very welcome.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay, good. All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, Preston.
Did anyone else want to get on and ask questions? I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. I'm going to have
to
wrap
right?
Up soon,
so Preston will be the last one, unless somebody else wants to hurry up and say the word "me," and we'll bring you up as well. So we're going to shut this down in just a few seconds here. Preston, welcome.
Hey, sorry.
Bruce, had you anything else you want to ask?
I know. Hold on.
I can't see Preston.
Giving me some problems. It seems to reset.
Get a light like mine. Charity shop.
So Smith, I like your one comment about not crossing the streams. Is that there's a different audience on Twitter than is on Facebook, that's on Instagram, and a lot of people have that automatically set up to post everywhere, and it's the exact same content. But also the great thing is if you're creating slightly different content on different platforms, then your audience will have to go to all those platforms. So instead of having one follower on one platform, you've now got that one follower on all four platforms contributing and sharing.
Yeah, I think choose one where your audience is, and choose one that you're comfortable with and that you rock at, and just stick to that one and just do little bits on the others.
Good
That's
advice.
what I do.
I like it.
Really. The best of luck with your workshop, by the way. And if they need any extra help, they can
actually. It's 7. It's like 8 a.m. Midwest time, which is about 8 to 10 hours. So if you want to be up at midnight, I'd love to have you stop in and say hi. If you can be up at midnight, actually. Well, I might.
You didn't
I was thinking
Blab?
of Periscope, but I think Blab. Actually, if you're on Periscope, I can call you up and reach out to you. Just a quick hi, and we'll arrange it. I'll send you some times.
Okay. Well, I'm tweeting Goddess. Sure, look, the best of luck to you, and just tweet to me then if you want to send me a link or something. Just follow. All you have to do, guys, if anyone wants to follow anyone on Twitter here today, you just have to click on the name, follow them on Blab, and then you can connect to their Twitter as well. You see the viewers and the people watching. If you just click on that, you can see all the people as well and follow them on Twitter. So connect on Twitter as well.
Well, thank you much.
Okay, thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, it is.
Hi, Preston.
I was there this
Preston?
morning, remember, with all the gray guys? And then you came in pink.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right, yeah. Gosh, I've had a busy day on Blab.
All night long, too. It must be late there. What I was going to mention is somebody wanted me to hop in here. Right now, Blab, once you're done recording this, you can actually upload it to YouTube now, automatically. So we tried that before.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. I am so happy we got that. Man, thanks.
No, I just checked it because somebody wanted to know the quality. The quality isn't that good, but it could be because of my connection. It could be because of my camera, because I uploaded it to my channel to see what it looks like. So, but it's there, and it's automatic. And that's, like you said, Roy, that's a great thing because now we
don't need to do an HOA anymore. We can just stay right here. I love it.
Exactly.
In-house. Woohoo!
Exactly. So, but I did have a quick question, if I can ask.
That's brilliant.
Okay. You have a lot of people following you, and of course I got more followers now being that I'm Blab than I used to have before. the question I have is the unfollowing of them. At what point do you unfollow people? Because obviously there has to be a certain ratio. If it's over that, Twitter looks at you like you're following too many people. Twitter does it.
Who says that? Like, yeah, but it's like, but people like I just look. I have 24,000. I think I'm following 14,000. I'm not sure. I mean, don't have it too wide. Like I don't mind if I see someone and they're following a few more than are following them. That's fine. But it only looks really bad. I think if you've like 34,000 followers and you're only following like 200.
Well, the problem that I have is
I'm
following brands because those are the ones that are my market, and so obviously they're not going to follow me. I mean, maybe not right away. And so I'm trying to figure out what is going to be the balance. Should it be 50% follow, 50% no follow, or do I just wipe everybody out? Because I've seen a lot of people here on Blab that are following me, but they're not they're following me and I'm following, or I don't know what it is. Everybody's following each other, but somehow I'm using this unfollow spy and it shows me these people haven't interacted or followed me.
Don't. Okay, really? First of all, get rid of that. Get rid of that app. Okay, don't even bother with it. All right, get rid of that. So don't get rid of that app, those unfollowers things, because I don't want to hear about how many people have unfollowed you today.
Well, no, I turned that feature off.
But
all
I'm concerned about
it keeps it.
Yeah, good.
You can do one automatic DM just to say hi. I'd like to meet you. And I don't want to do any links or anything like that.
No, I'll tell you what to do, right? Worry about the people who are following you. They're the people that you need to not worry about, but these are the people that are following you because they want a connection with you in some way. So I just look after the people who are following me. I don't care about the people who've unfollowed me. Right. That's fine. Unfollow me. That's grand. I want to keep my relationships with the people who are following me because they are my army of marketeers. They're my supporters. They're the people that like me and like what I'm doing and like what I'm saying. Big brands, if they don't follow me back, which a lot of them don't, which I think this is the reason the big brands are doing it wrong, I unfollow them.
No, I just.
What was that for?
I just listened along. I was just paying attention. We're kind of.
But that's just me now. That doesn't mean I'm right. Oh, no, I'm just saying how it works for me.
I'm just kind of in my own little corner of the industry, like with what I do, and this is sort of a, I'm not used to a lot of new people. I'm like when I go on camera, I'm usually the same people are there, so I'm just introducing myself, and I want to meet some new people, so yeah, I don't know, and so social media is the topic. I started using Twitter a little bit. but I'm kind of so new that like I'm just experiencing like hashtags and stuff, and like what I got quite a bit of followers just because I work from home and online, and I just started tweeting like blog posts that I thought were of value, and that's kind of what I've been doing. I try to be a little bit personal sometimes too, and then yeah.
Good. All the right things to do.
Oh,
and,
it's
what do you do?
It's kind of in a way, it's like no.
I don't mean that. I'm not being nosy. I just mean to say, like, are your audience on Twitter?
They definitely are. In a way, it's like a social media site. I mean, people are sharing sites with each other. It's kind of full of marketers and hobbyists. I don't know what's the other group. Yeah.
Like Blab.
And then there's a lot of people that are new to internet business as well. And that's kind of our target audience. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you, all right. So you want to connect with people who would be interested in learning more, maybe. So you want to share your knowledge with them. That's always a good way to get followers and to make connections. And you get to know them as well. Just ask them how their day is going. If you see one of them having a bad day, jump in and, talk to them, and don't, people always remember how you made them feel. It's a well-known quote, you know. So, you know, if you're putting out good content, you're putting out, you know, stuff that's valuable, then they're getting value from you. They're not going to unfollow you because, like, and don't forget, they're getting it from Marcus. Yeah. They're following Marcus. You know, it's Marcus, it's you that they want to get to know. It's you that they're connecting with.
Oh, cool.
So you're the person that they like, you know, and there's a reason for it.
Are
you following me?
You on Blab here. I don't. You want? What do I put your? Now, is there an easy way to do that? I mean, I see that I see your handle here.
Yeah, here's how you do it, Marcus. So click on Samantha's little name tag there, and then you'll see a little birdie.
Little blue bird.
Click on that. Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Oh, there she is. Follow. All right.
There I am.
Thank you. All right. Great. Now,
and I just followed you. Okay. So this is how easy it is. And this is why everyone's Twitter is being revived from Blab as well, you know, because when you tell a little bird there, I get notifications. And what I try and do, by the way, is I go back to the notifications and I say, thanks for joining in the Blab. Thanks for your comments or whatever it is, or whoever I can remember, you know, and that's important as well, because you're taking the time out. I know it's just a click, but you're taking the time out to go and help me. You're helping me by telling a little bird. So I'm grateful for that. So it's really important to be kind and acknowledge these people who are taking time out to engage with you. So if anyone does retweet your blog post, Marcus, thank them. And if they give you feedback, then take the feedback and, you know, keep the conversation going, you know, and if there's any questions and so on and so on. It's all about people, folks. Everything. All social media is about people and how you treat them, really is. And it's as simple as that. People say, how do I get so many followers? It's because I'm not an Egypt. That's why. It's because I actually treat people with respect, because I've been there. And like the gentleman was saying earlier about the roof person, what was his name? Anyway, Pete, was it? Yeah. He was saying, you know, like that people, he's been there. He's been homeless. He's been down the very bottom, and he knows what it's like to be treated as something special then when you do come back, I suppose. So, you know, if you treat people with respect and, you know, you're not bitching about other people and stuff, that's another thing. Don't give out about brands on Twitter. Don't give out about other people, because trust me, there's loads of people watching you and they can see and they'll tell them.
Super cool.
You know?
Thanks, Samantha. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you, later. We're going to wrap this up, are we, Roy?
I think there's one quick question you can just answer in one word. Ian asks, other than Hootsuite, is there another free social media management tool that is equally as good?
TweetDeck is better. I don't like Hootsuite myself. TweetDeck, Buffer. Now you will have to pay for some of them, but I think TweetDeck is my favorite for Twitter. Buffer is great. You can schedule tweets and stuff like that. There's Agora Pulse. Like, they all have a free version. A lot of people like Buffer. So look at Buffer and look at TweetDeck. I find TweetDeck really good for scheduling tweets if I'm not going to be around.
Yeah, Twitter, love it. Sam, if I may, I'd like to do what I like to do best, and that is help people. So Sam and I became quick friends, fast friends here. I've been helping Sam as her co-host, maybe her wing person. What's that?
I've never even met Roy. I was just saying, I never even met Roy.
We just became fast friends, and we just don't have to say too much to each other to know, you know, what we're doing here together. So it's all about collaboration. So I'd like to offer my services as a wing person like this. I love doing this. This is what I do. So if you have a show that you want to start or you want to get started, you need somebody, not all the time, but just to get you on the right track, maybe give you a couple of mindset pieces so that you can do what you need to do. Maybe you have a little bit of a fear. I'm there to kind of help you out. So just get with me, ask me, Roy, will you be my co-host / wing person? And more than likely I'll say yes. Sam, thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam.
And thanks, guys, for joining. And thank you, Paul, for the lovely comment. And thanks, Marcus. Thanks, Preston. Thanks for all the comments, online events, Saz. And thank you. And I will see you probably later on Blab, because I'm kind of up for the night for an hour or two. So, and I'll see you on Twitter, definitely. And if there's anything I can do to help, just reach out and just ask me. I'll do what I can, introduce you to whoever I can that I know. Okay? See you guys. I'm going to go now and close up and stop the record as well.